Good afternoon, every citizens of the democratic free world. This is South Korea COVERT, the English broadcast of 119 Korea TV. I am your host, Dr. Choi Sung-han, and spokesman, Choi Young-jae. Today's topic is about South Korea's police national security investigative team indicting and summoning and interrogating Mr. Park Sang-hak, the representative of Fighters for a Free North Korea, 자유북한운동연합, for over 6 hours under the allegation of releasing leaflets to North Korea and turned out to have violated the so-called Development of Inter-Korean Relations Act. This is the Anti-Leaflet Act's real name in English. Development of Inter-Korean Relations Act, which was revised on March 30, 2021, this year, which U.S. Congress and the human rights leaders regard as anti-humane and against freedom of expression. Seoul's National Police Agency's Security Investigative Team launched an investigation and even executing search and confiscation for alleged sending of 500,000 leaflets to the north on 25th and 29th April. But Korean officers claimed that most of the balloons bearing the leaflets had blown back to south, missing intended targets, but announced that even an attempt action is a crime, as regarded as a crime. Then, if the balloons never crossed the border to the North Korea, why Kim Jong-un's little bitty sister Kim Yo-jong is so furious about this incident? According to Daily Beast, Kim Yo-jong's fury is an evidence that South Korean officers are lying on this matter. Park Sang-hak said many had landed in the vicinity of Pyongyang Central Railway Station. Then, if the balloons never crossed the border, why Kim Jong-un's little bitty sister, Kim Yo-jong, got so furious about this incident? According to Daily Beast, Kim Yo-jong's fury is an evidence that South Korean officers are lying on the matter. I have heard that impurity of the Development of Inter-Korean Relations Act, the Anti-Leaflet Act, was dealt with in the 2020 Country Reports on Human Rights Practices and Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission. So I fear that the U.S. might try to punish rather retaliate South Korea as a betrayer to the whole free world. Isn't Moon digging his own grave by extremely confronting the United States? I have heard you are an acquaintance of Mr. Donald Kirk.
Yes.
What is his part of story about Mr. Park Sang-hak?
Yeah. To quote some press release released by Donald Kirk of Daily Beast on May 8th, 2021, Donald Kirk's news media acquired the latest exclusive interview with Mr. Park Sang-hak, In his last phone interview before cops raided his home and confiscated his cell, Park Sang-hak discusses how he can single-handedly spark another rift between the North and South. In a one-man fight against the ruling establishment of North and South Korea, a 53-year-old defector has outraged Kim Yo-jong, kid sister of ruler Kim Jong-un, and South Korea's President Moon Jae-in alike. Park Sang-hak, who fled North Korea 21 years ago with his family, has defied both of them by sending thousands of leaflets cascading of the North Korea and in defiance of a new law rammed through the South National Assembly banning this expression of free speech. In the run-up to Moon's first summit with President Joe Biden in the White House on May 21st, South Korean police have refrained from arresting Park, but the police searched his office and Thursday minutes after he told the Daily Beast in a Zoom conversation that was determined to keep sending leaflets regardless of the law and constant surveillance. The police may have listened in on the interview with the Daily Beast Park's last phone contact with the journalist before that confiscated his mobile along with documents from his offices in Seoul. Park's main message to the North Koreans, as well as propounded in 500,000 leaflets and 500 pamphlets dropped from balloons wafted of the North on April 28th and April 30th. Kim Jong-un is developing nuclear weapon while 20 million people are starving. That was enough to infuriate Kim Yo-jong, who sought to intimidate to South in a statement asking if South Korean authorities were ready to take care of the consequence of the evil conduct done by the rubbish-like Mongolian dog, who took no scruple to slander us while faulting the nuclear issues in the meanest way. Clearly speaking, she said in her statement, carried in English on May 2nd by Pyongyang's Korean Central News Agency, the South Korean will be forced to pay a dear price if they let this situation go on while making sort of the excuses. Speaking to the Daily Beast, Park cited Kim Yo-jong's fury as evidence that South Korean officials were lying when they claimed that most of the balloons bearing the leaflets had blown back to the south, missing the intended target. He said many had landed in the vicinity of Pyongyang's Central Railroad Station, where they were easily picked up by ordinary people as well as North Korean soldiers. Along with the leaflet, $5,001 bills were also dropped of the North to give people real money, as opposed to near worthless Korean currency. Park, who calls his organization Fighters for a Free North Korea, said in a Zoom conversation that police were constantly following his movement and watching both his office and the residents to keep him from making good on plans to launch more leaflets and also to protect him from assassination by North Korean agents. Over the past 2 decades, he's been responsible for more than 100 leaflet launches of the North. Other North Korean defectors have launched many more, but he's the only one to have defied the new law banning leaflets as passed by Korean National Assembly in December. The North Koreans have put out the directive, said Park, talking through a long-time contact serving as an interpreter for the conversation. They said, "Get rid of Park Sang-hak." Defiantly, he added, "South Korean police cannot arrest me, at least not until after Biden's summit with Moon." Biden and his team have not commented on whether the topics of the anti-leaflet law will come up at the summit. But Park hoped Biden would ask about the legality of the legislation that he said represses free speech as guaranteed in the South Constitution. "I want President Biden to ask all those questions," he said. "Why does Moon violate the Korean Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom of information?" And that's what President Biden should confront President Moon with. Park spoke out in terms that clearly identify with the Korean right-wing forces, gathering strength while Moon's own popularity sinks in response to corruption scandals and economic issues. "Moon is working for Kim Jong-un," he said, echoing widespread comments by Moon's conservative critics. He almost dared South Korean authorities to jail him, declaring, "If I am arrested, opposition party politicians and mass media will not sit silently by. They will raise holy hell." He believed one reason he remained free was the political pressure of the Conservative Liberty Party standing against the ruling Democratic Party in the National Assembly. "I don't think Moon will arrest me," he said. "It will look vile and low if he arrests me after the summit." Park's defiance of authorities contrasts with that of other defectors who have refrained from launching leaflet since enactment of the anti-leaflet law. "As long as the North Korean people suffer, there will be no stopping, he said. "We will keep sending leaflets." The police raid on his office, however, suggests that he may not be able to make good on that pledge even if he is not arrested. Without a mobile phone, it's not even certain he will be able to publicize his views anywhere. Moon claims he's for human rights. He told the Daily Beast he's puppet of the North Korean regime, the Kim dynasty. He is close to Kim and also to Chinese President Xi Jinping.
The mobile phone, the cell phone of Park Sang-hak was confiscated by the police, and the last interview was made by this
Kirk.
So this is a very important news.
Yes.
Only we have this information. Thank you so much for watching South Korea COVERT through to the finish, and we will do our best to reveal more hidden news that the Moon Jae-in regime is so nervous to hide. Thank you again, and see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.